Welcome, Gemini, to your in-depth weekly astrology overview and zodiac forecast for week commencing the 23rd of March for the ascendant, the sun, or the moon. I'm going to share with you the big themes of the week first, then on screen, your adventure on Monday always provides an influential backdrop. I'll then go through each of those influences frame by frame to give you a clear picture of what you can expect in terms of relationships, finance, energy, and work. I'm astrologer Patrick Arundell. A warm welcome. If you've yet to subscribe to the channel, please do so now to help it to continue to thrive. So as we go into this week, your ruler Mercury is now direct, which is really helpful. But also at the heart of the week, there is a conjunction where two planets are unified between the Sun and Saturn in Aries for the first time in 28 years. But also they're forging a very dynamic link to Pluto, the planet of change, which is so rare, it's truly historic. But what's the implication for you? There's also a quarter moon at the heart of this week in the caring sign of Cancer. But as the week draws to a close, it's Venus, the relator, which links to Chiron, which really caught my eye. What does that mean for you too? So on the screen, Gemini, is your event chart. The big takeout, your ruler Mercury now direct, but it is the most northerly player in this event chart. So influential for sure. You may have found over the last few weeks that as much as Mars has been giving you, along with the Sun, a lot of desire to achieve your goals and ambitions, somehow or another things have just got snagged, bogged down by the watery vibe of Pisces. And there may have been some quite powerful misunderstandings. So Mercury going direct is great. The Sun, the luminary, is in the part of your chart very much to do with collaboration, your long-term plan, but also your higher purpose. And the moon is just connecting to Uranus as we're coming into this week. So you could feel a bit unsettled if you're watching this early in the week. You may have even had a restless night, but the moon does actually move into your sign later on Monday, which can actually be very constructive as she forges a series of great links to those Aries players. So what's the implications for you? Well, let's just think about that professional sphere, because obviously we've just had the new moon and then a quick shift with the vernal equinox. If there is something that you're really focused on, you have a clear picture of what you want to achieve, and it's just overcoming those tangles. Mars is linked to Jupiter is fantastic, and it could be that you can really push towards a golden prize, and it could have a financial implication that's very pleasing to you. Because Mercury is very close to the North Node, the point of destiny, it's important also to trust your instincts around your professional situation. They will guide you, but as the Sun moves forward, he applies to Saturn, as I mentioned, first time in 28 years. Now, the Sun in Aries is all about initiation, action. It's a fire energy. Saturn is in its full in the sign of Aries because it's very much about outcomes and consequences, more about culmination rather than beginnings. But this 11th house for you is about your network, something you're often very skilled at. But you could become more conscious this week of someone who isn't quite as loyal and applied to your needs as you would like. And the reason for that, I think, because you have a difference of values. The quarter moon on Wednesday, linking back to the Sun and Saturn, does suggest that if there is a friend that just sees things very differently to you, that can become much more obvious. But the 11th house can also be about that long-term plan. And if you're not feeling that you're traveling at speed towards something that works for you, it may be a time when you reset your approach, and it could feel like a stumble, and it would be easy to be quite hard and critical on yourself. But this is where Pluto comes in. The link with Pluto to the duo of the Sun and Saturn is, as I mentioned, incredibly rare, but I think it can help you to perhaps get some good advice. There may be someone that you can talk to, maybe a wise friend. It could be someone more formal, like a business advisor, a life coach, or so on. It may be just your own instincts are guiding you by finding out some information which clarifies which way you should go. But if you are not enjoying where you are at the moment, this could be something of a crossroads week. As Venus moves forwards, however, and connects to Chiron, what it can do is help you to understand that Chiron, yes, can be where we feel a wound, but it can also be a superpower. And that talent you naturally have for interacting with lots of different types of people can be amplified by a degree of diplomacy and charm. But if your romantic situation is a little unclear, one of the questions you could ask yourself is, do we actually celebrate the things we have in common as much as focus on the things we disagree on? And if the answer to that is no, we don't, I think Venus in its conjunction to Chiron is asking you to consider that. So, to summarize for you, Gemini, as far as your professional situation is concerned, something that's been stuck, bogged down, or confusing can take a giant step forwards as long as it's the direction you truly want to travel in. If you're not quite sure about that direction, you may have to go through a period of appraisal this week, and talking to someone who's quite shrewd or experienced or finding out more information is going to be important to that. As far as your energy is concerned, you could feel a little bit drained as you come into the week initially because of that Moon Uranus conjunction. Your adrenals may be a bit switched on by that. But I think as the week goes on, as long as you pace yourself and just be aware that if some people are not quite connecting to you because your values just don't align, just be philosophical about that. Sometimes our connections to others are for a time, they're not necessarily for all of time. And of course, Saturn is very much about time. So if there is an involvement, a group dynamic, which isn't quite right for you, this could be the moment that you do decide to leave it. It's been a pleasure being with you. If you've yet to sign up for your free daily written horoscope, please see the link below. If you've yet to watch your vernal equinox 3-month forecast, please click on the screen, or your Pisces new moon video for that. If you'd like to talk to me one-to-one, please see my testimonials below. And if you'd like to consider your personal horoscopes, they help you to map your journey in a clearer and more insightful way. And there's 50% off at the moment. Please see the link below for more. Have a great week. All the best and goodbye.